So you're thinking about raising money for your business. You're going to hear about two key documents, the classic, legendary business plan and its leaner, meaner cousin, the one-pager. Here's the catch. One of them could be a massive waste of your time. The other, it might be the very thing that gets you funded. Let's figure out which is which.
Okay, so you've got this brilliant idea, right? You're all fired up and ready to go. What's the very first piece of advice that practically everyone gives you? You hear it everywhere. You have to write a business plan. It's talked about like it's the absolute first commandment of starting a company. But here's a thought. In today's fast-moving world, is that advice actually any good? Or is it holding you back? All right, so before we get into the debate, let's just be clear on what we're talking about. What exactly is this legendary document? For a long, long time, this was considered the Bible for any new venture. At its core, a business plan is the super comprehensive guide. It's meant to spell out every single thing about your company, what you do, how you'll do it, who you'll sell to, and what the next 5 years are going to look like. It's the whole story, A to Z. And when I say comprehensive, I am not kidding. We're not talking about a little pamphlet here. A typical business plan can easily be 50, 60, I've even seen them push past 100 pages. It's a huge amount of work. And honestly, this quote just nails its whole purpose. It's basically a formal handshake on paper. It's designed to tell an investor everything they could possibly want to know before they even have a chance to ask. And the list of things you have to include is, well, it's long. You need to break down who owns what you actually do, analyze the entire market, explain how you'll make money, lay out your marketing plan, your sales forecasts, how much cash you need, and that's just for starters. If you skip any of these, the whole thing's considered incomplete. So after building up this epic, super important document, I'm about to tell you something that might sound crazy. What if creating that 100-page masterpiece is actually one of the worst ways an entrepreneur can spend their time? And hey, that's not just me saying it. This quote is from an active investor, and it perfectly captures the modern feeling. For a lot of people in the game today, seeing a huge business plan isn't impressive. It's a red flag that you might be a little out of touch. And here's the brutally honest reason why they feel that way. A business plan is a giant set of predictions about the future, and those predictions, they are almost always wrong. And I don't mean a little bit off, I mean fundamentally 100% wrong. Just think about it for a second. The very moment you finish writing that final page, the world has already changed. You've just created a static, frozen-in-time document to describe a living, breathing, constantly changing business. It's obsolete before it's even printed. And the reasons are all around us, right? Your market zigs when you thought it would zag. A new competitor pops up out of nowhere. Your customers tell you they want something completely different. A new technology comes along and changes everything. Your business has to be able to pivot and adapt way faster than you can rewrite a 100-page plan. So does that mean they're totally dead? Well, not quite. It's more like there's a divide. You've got your old school players, think big banks giving out loans, or certain institutional investors. They might still ask for one just because it's what they've always done. But modern VCs, especially the Silicon Valley types, they have no time for it. They need the key information, and they need it yesterday. And that need for speed, for getting straight to the good stuff, that's exactly where our hero comes in, the one-pager. This is the modern tool built for the world we actually operate in. And it is exactly what it sounds like. It's a single page that takes all the best, most exciting, most impressive parts of your business and puts them right up front. It's not the whole story. Think of it as the movie trailer that makes an investor desperate to see the whole film. And this right here is the whole point. A really active investor might look at dozens of companies in a single day. You don't have an hour of their time. You might have 60 seconds if you're lucky. The one-pager respects that reality, and that's incredibly powerful. A killer one-pager boils your entire company down to the absolute must-haves, what you do and why you're special, how big the opportunity is, any proof that you're already making progress, that's traction, who's on your team, and exactly how much money you need. It is all killer, no filler. So we've got the old legend and the modern challenger. The question is, how do you know which one is the right move for you? The answer really comes down to one thing, your audience. If you're going to a traditional bank for a loan or you're entering a business plan competition, that exhaustive, detailed plan might still be what they expect. But if you are pitching modern angel investors or VCs, the one-pager is the only tool you should be using.
And really, that's the big takeaway here. The most important skill in fundraising isn't writing the perfect document. It's understanding who you're talking to and giving them exactly what they need in the format they want. You wouldn't hand someone a 100-page novel when all they have time for is a tweet.
Which brings us to the ultimate test for any founder, the exercise of taking your entire vision, all your passion and plans, and distilling it down to one single powerful page. It forces you to have absolute clarity. So the real question isn't which document to write, it's this. Is your big idea ready for that test?